Lisa went to the beach for the first time to swim. Unexpectedly, she almost killed herself. When she woke up from her sleep, she discovered that she was trapped in a cabin filled with seawater, and her boyfriend had disappeared without a trace. To survive, Lisa took off her damaged raincoat and struggled to climb up to the deck of the cruise ship. But what she saw left her stunned. At that moment, Lisa realized that she was drifting in the middle of the sea on the cruise ship. Desperate, she sat her day on the cruise ship, screaming in anger. After some time, Lisa snapped out of her sadness and decided to look for ways to survive instead of waiting for death. She grabbed the radio from the deck and shouted for help on a certain frequency. However, the radio was soaked in seawater and couldn't transmit any signals. Dragging her weary body, she took out the binoculars from her hand, and suddenly, a small fishing boat appeared in the lens. Lisa thought it was likely fishermen out fishing. Excitedly, she went to the deck and prepared to steer the cruise ship towards the direction of the fishing boat, but something seemed to be stuck in the propeller. Lisa rummaged through the cabin and found a pair of pliers. The wire was cut in half with the pliers, but unfortunately, due to inertia, Lisa fell into the sea. To make matters worse, the canvas pressed her down. Seeing that she was about to suffocate, Lisa swam desperately towards the surface of the sea. Luckily, she managed to survive. Just as she was about to climb back onto the cruise ship, she realized that the cruise ship was 100 meters away from her. Realizing the danger, Lisa frantically swam towards the cruise ship. Finally, she successfully climbed back onto the yacht. Although her right hand was accidentally caught by the wire, it was nothing compared to the urgency of escaping. Lisa repaired the damaged parts of the hull to prevent further damage from the seawater corrosion. Then she went to the storage room in the cabin and took out a large number of water pipes. Using manual principles, she made a water pump to drain all the accumulated water inside. With everything ready, Lisa raised the sail on the deck so that she could slowly sail towards the direction of the fishing boat with the help of the wind. After a while, Lisa successfully reached the location of the fishing boat, but it turned out to be a man lying on a lifeboat. It turned out that Lisa's judgment through the binoculars was wrong. The black dot she saw was actually her boyfriend. In a panic, Lisa jumped into the sea and reached her boyfriend. Jack was already unconscious at that time. Lisa could only carry Jack back to the yacht. She opened his heavy waterproof suit, and Jack finally regained consciousness, but his leg and ribs were severely injured, and he couldn't move at all. From now on, Lisa was the only hope for both of them. Seeing Jack blaming himself, Lisa vowed to bring him to land. She told him to rest and not to think too much, so the two of them drifted at sea for 3 days and 3 nights. After careful analysis and calculation by Lisa, if they relied on their current drifting speed, it would take a month to reach the land, but the food in the cabin could not support them for that long. They were likely to starve to death. Opening the last jar of peanut butter, Lisa and Jack shared it. After filling their stomachs, Lisa prepared to catch some seafood as food. For a novice with no experience, it would be a huge challenge. Taking up a sharp harpoon, Lisa made numerous attempts, but all ended in failure. When she closed her eyes exhaustedly, suddenly, heavy rain poured from the sky. Excitedly, Lisa quickly collected the water in a bowl. Now the freshwater problem was solved. Both of them hugged each other satisfied and fell into a deep sleep. In the evening, Lisa was awakened by a roaring sound. It turned out that a giant cargo ship was passing by them. Excitedly, she took out a flare gun from her pocket and shot it into the sky. But unfortunately, the cruise ship was too large and didn't notice Lisa below. The next day, when Lisa woke up from her sleep, she suddenly realized that Jack was missing from his bed. Realizing something was wrong, she called out for Jack everywhere, but received no response. Lisa sat her day on the deck, hugging Jack's sweater, and finally realized that all the previous scenes were her illusions. Jack had actually been dead from the beginning. She just couldn't move on from her grief. Facing reality, Lisa picked up her boyfriend's sweater and resolved to live on with Jack's spirit. Lisa jumped into the bottomless sea once again. With the experience of failure, she became much more skilled this time. She effortlessly harpooned a fish, and then Lisa enjoyed a meal of raw fish. Although it was all sashimi, it was nothing compared to staying alive. As Lisa rested, a pigeon caught her attention. Since a pigeon could fly to this place, there must be land nearby. Excitedly, Lisa picked up the binoculars and looked in the direction of the pigeon. Sure enough, a landmass appeared before her eyes. Taking out the last signal flare, Lisa shot it towards a nearby fishing boat. Fortunately, this time it wasn't an illusion. The fishing boat received the distress signal and changed course to reach Lisa. Finally, Lisa was successfully rescued.